The squirrel said, and that's how the beholder learned the true meaning of friendship. You know, if you guys can hear me okay, hopefully you can. We're doing something a little different. As you can see, I've got a guest this week, so we hopefully all the audio and that's coming through okay. Say hello.
Hello there.
All right, cool. Sound good on my end. Hopefully you guys sound okay in chat. If the answer is a yes, please someone type into chat. Hey, thanks for Javur.
I think it'd be more fun if you were showing up twice.
Yeah, exactly
A little
right.
bit of echo.
Yeah. We are close. There might be a little bleed through, but hopefully not too much. So, all right. Hello and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live. Please give us a follow on Twitch or subscribe to us on YouTube if you'd like to get these videos in your subscription feed or get notified for when we're going live with shows just like this one. We have 3 new shows that showed up in the last week, and that means we have shows Sunday to Sunday, and you can find the full schedule again on twitch.tv/DDOstream. Thanks for joining us in chat. Feel free to ask us anything. If we can answer it, we will. If we can't, we'll just let you know. We are on Galanda this week, level 9. I guess Wartificer, Warlock Officer. I like to pew pew with my pew pew, and that's why I am on Galanda with a level 2 Artificer, level 7 Warlock, and it looks like we're going to be running Xorian Cipher this week. And like I said, I've got a guest, so why don't you say hello, Angela?
Hey everyone. I'll keep my mic muted most of the time since we're sitting kind of close by. I'm going to minimize the echo as much as possible, but
So I should just introduce you real quick. You are a new member of the Turbine community team. You are predominantly going to be working on our upcoming mobile titles, but you do play a little bit of DDO, and it thought it would be fun to just kind of get you on the stream and hang out for a little bit and just sort of introduce you to the DDO community here. So
it's been a while, so I'm noobtastic on this server. It's a lot of fun.
well, what that means is you may die more than me.
May.
May.
With any luck.
Yes. So we're running Xorian Cipher. Like I said, this is a level 8 quest. It is a free-to-play quest, and it's not really the easiest quest in the world. Although, if you get really good at it, like I have in the past, because I was farming and for an item there, then you can actually solo it. Although you will need a little bit of hireling help. All right, thanks Briz and Rutzoff and Gladstar and Ix for joining me as well. Looks like we're going to go in. What's the highest level of the group we got? Should we try Elite? You'll keep score, Peter823 says. Yes, indeed. Who is a higher level? The Easter Bunny. Oh, if you're level 10, we'll go in on Elite. And then we'll die, and then we'll go in on Hard. But hey, that's fine. Hey CSI, hey Virtual Gib, hey Iliando and Mary, Marching Kid, Big Sugar, Aldrin, Peter again, Entomix. Nice big chat room here this week. Who is a higher level, the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus? I'm going to have to assume that Santa Claus would have a higher level than the Easter Bunny, although the Easter Bunny probably has a greater dodge. I think I'm going to have to crank up my audio here a little bit. Oh, I know why I'm not hearing the audio very well. It's because I've got Skype going and it's prioritizing the master volume. Are you guys hearing the DDO audio okay on your end? I think it might just be a local thing. There's still a couple of real nice items in this quest. Oops, I guess I shouldn't have gone in as a public group. There we go. Well, see, if I say I'm going to die, then I won't, right? Because it's when I say I'm not going to die that I tend to run into the most trouble.
Yeah, well, I think now you just double jinxed it, so.
Right. Like I say, people don't watch the live stream to see me not die. They watch the live stream to watch the community manager die. That's sort of the whole point.
Otherwise, it'd be like watching NASCAR and just to see cars make left turns all day.
Yeah, right, right. Santa has dual classed from Thief, though, seeing as he breaks into 1,000,000 homes a minute. Yes, it's true. He probably does have a very high open lock skill. Well, unless he just has greater teleport, that could be as well. Certainly has haste. Alright, so what do we got going on this week? We have got a +2 loot boost that's going to be kicking off on Thursday. We've got a brand new round of December deals that starts on Thursday as well, so if you're actually looking to pick up this week's December deals, you might want to get on that, because we have a whole new round of bonuses, bonus sort of sales and that happening probably Thursday mid-afternoonish. We have got a new build that's going to be going on Lamania later this week, probably sometime around, I don't know. It might be a little early to actually say, but the goal is to get it out in the next couple of days, probably Thursday or Friday. And that's going to have the new Update 29 quests available for preview, along with general polish and things like that compared to the last Lamania build. Also, big news, on Friday at 4, it's not going to be the usual madness. It is going to be our official Update 29 preview stream. So I'm going to have a bunch of devs with me, probably Knockback and Varguil, Steel Star, maybe Severlin if we can get them involved in it. And we'll be previewing Update 29. So we'll be taking a look in a fairly spoiler-light version of Legendary Shroud, some of the new raids, Legendary Green Steel, random loot. Great time to get your questions answered as well. So if you want to join us here on twitch.tv/DDOstream Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern, it's a good time to check out our Update 29 preview. As we do with all the videos, we're going to have archived versions as well. I know a lot of you can't join us live, so you tend to pick it up afterwards, which is perfectly fine. And that should be up a little bit later on Friday evening, probably early evening, I would guess.
There's something just so satisfying about destroying all the objects.
Yes, exactly right.
I just get caught up with that. I'm like, oh wait, you're fighting actual enemies. Whoops.
Well, hey, you're getting us the breakable bonus. That's the important thing.
It's essential.
Yes, Titan, I know you were going to ask about Lamania. That's why I beat you to the punch. But yeah, it should be. It may well actually be one of our final update previews for Update 29 here. So should be a good one. And I don't know how long it's going to be up. I guess we'll have to kind of stay tuned on that. I think some decisions are being made today on that. But should be pretty cool. We've been really appreciating all the feedback we've been getting on it, particularly, say, with random loot, the rune system, legendary green steel, the raids themselves. We've been getting a lot of great feedback this round on Lamania, so we really do appreciate everyone who's been there to help us. This one's a wisdom rune. Would that maybe be you, Gladstar? So, do we have an ETA on Update 29? Stay tuned. I know you guys know that we like to be fairly last minute in our announcements as to when it's actually going live. I can tell you that we're still targeting later this month. Could be soonish. Depends how Friday's preview goes. We'll have more information perhaps as soon as Friday that we can tell you a little bit more about our release date plans. You know, this is a lot easier with Eldritch Blast.
I've decided that ranging has been the best choice I've made.
Yep.
Although my rogue abilities are limited, they're undead anyway. So.
Yep. If they can't hit you, they can't kill you. Alright, let's see. What quest is this? Dan Telas, what quest is this? This is Xorian Cipher. It's a free-to-play quest that's available in House Jarasco. It's kind of an older quest in DDO, but still a pretty unique one. You can find it sort of in the back by the entrance to the Tempest Spine raid. Like I say, it's a free quest. It's level 8 on normal and still has a couple of named items that are pretty good, although pretty rare. Big Sugar asks, with the popularity of the Jack Jibbers rare drop, is there any talk of doing more of that kind of loot? I would suggest an Eternal Dimension door scroll once per rest, no UMD. Make it so. Something we could consider. You know, obviously when we did the Bladed Jack Jibbers, we have to be careful in terms of drop rates and usability and things like that, because it is a very powerful item. That can have some pretty significant game implications. But to the extent possible, perhaps. That's about the best I could say. You know, I agree. A permanent dimension door clicky sure would be nice. Well, outside of what we already have. Cynthia says, you need a party for this quest because you have to split up. The answer to that is you don't need other people, but you do need other characters. Oops. You can do it with hirelings. I actually, way back in the day, did a video of how to solo, quote, solo Xorian Cipher with hirelings. You can do it. You don't need other people with you, although it certainly makes things a lot easier if you do. But it is not technically necessary.
I've always been a predominantly solo player, but it depends on the weight of the digital companion. You know how well you want them to function in some of the requests you make.
Yep. Rutsoff, if you can hang on a second, we need to clear out the other hallway first. But yeah, you need 4 hirelings or people or pets and things like that, because what you can do is put people on the side that we were just at. That'll open up. They'll probably die, just because they'll get killed by undead. But they don't need to hit anything. So what you can do is then go on this side yourself. You do the work to sort of unlock both sides, and then you're fine. So, and I'll be on the left-hand side so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. But you can do it with like I said, a couple of hirelings or, you know, defender pets, wolves, things like that. whatever you might happen to have. Do we have someone that could hit that lock? Nicely done, Briz. Yeah, right. You can have one of them pull it as well. There's actually several categories here that you can do. All right, so why don't we get how about Gladstar and Rutsoff? Maybe you two can take the other side.
Now, what are the requirements for opening this door? It didn't work with my character.
Well, we were on the other hallway just down on the other side. There's a couple of platforms there. And so you just need to have 2 people on this side, 2 people on that side. These gates will go down, and then your group will be split up temporarily. And then you'll meet
Right.
up again a little bit later. Which is why people were saying in chat that, this one is technically not a soloable quest. But like I said, it is if you can manage, say, like hirelings and things like that. Because, let me show you. So you can go up to the gate here, and one of your hirelings or whatever that open the gate on the right side is going to have to interact this lever, but you can target it on this side. So you target it on this side, you direct your hireling or dog or whatever it is you have to hit that lever. They'll hit that lever, open up what we need to do on our end, and then later on down the line, we'll reverse the thing and they'll be able to get to us. Like you said with that Iron Defender right there just did it, so that they hit this gate so that we can go through and take care of things here. Urlock says, am I for or against a legendary green steel toothpick? I would be for it. Because clean teeth are important. Let me take a look at the chat. I'm supposed to be promoting team play, Cynthia says. Yes, I do. I mean, you're welcome to do that. But I know, particularly for those who like to farm the, is it the Chaos Band? Is that the name of it? The name is skipping my brain right now. The ring that we'll be trying to get in a little bit here. It can often be helpful to just do it on your own. And if that's you, then this is a good opportunity to learn how to do it on your own with a little bit of help. Oh, the named toothpick? Well, that would be probably pretty OP, but maybe. This one's a wisdom. What level am I? I'm level 9. Yep. Rothko asks, does anyone know if Deadly and Speed will be added to the crafting update? That has not been determined yet, but it is certainly a possibility. At this point, I usually like to go back and hit that chest, now that we've got the keys that we need in that. See if we can get our nice item. Just trying to check our chat. Yeah, Technical 13, going to be starting a Sunday afternoon stream here on DDO Stream as well, 3 o'clock, doing builds and things like that. Should be a good show. We'll get that set up in the next couple of days. Titan, and ask a question that maybe some folks who are just joining us might not know, and that is the other person with me on the stream a Turbine employee or what? The answer is yes. This is Angela. She is a new member of our community team, predominantly going to be working on
Up and coming mobile titles.
up and coming mobile titles,
Yep.
and just doing a little bit of training with us, and is a DDO player a little bit. So we thought it'd be fun to get her on the stream here today.
Aw, and I died.
Yes. Come on the other side to take that res, so you don't die again. There we go. Can someone hit those traps? Do we have someone who can do it?
Unfortunately, the rogue just died.
Oh.
Although I might have been too low level for that anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, Rothko, to answer your question, unsure about whether Deadly or Speed will be added to the crafting update. It is certainly a possibility, particularly given our random loot changes with Deadly. It is something that may well be possible.
Yeah, I think I'm too low level. It's not showing up.
Okay. Well, maybe not then, huh? That's okay. How about this one over on this side? I see the box is... Oh, box already got hit. That's cool. And then I think we're going to have to wait on till we get the green key over here. Okay. Marching Kid and a couple others say, what mobile titles? We're not really ready to talk about that yet. Whatever public information that you find, there was like a Variety article announcing our up-and-coming mobile slate and things like that. That's the most we can say at the moment. So really can't give you any information on that, sorry. Yeah.
Today I'm just a DDO player.
Yep, exactly right. Yes, the current plan for Caneth Crafting is to get it potentially in a patch to update 29. So it could be update 29 patch 1. Basically, right now, No Worries is working on our randomized loot system. Once that work gets done, he's shifting over to Caneth Crafting. Might be a little while yet, because we still have some work to do regarding random loot. But as soon as that gets done, he's going to get started. And if we can get that done in time for patch 1, we will put it out. If we can't get it done in time for patch 1, then it may be update 30, but we'll kind of have to see how it goes, see how the work progresses on it. But at the very least, within the next couple of months, you should be seeing some stuff on it. So what can, by the way, Dragon Mistress, let's see.
Yeah.
You're recently moved from Massachusetts. You're a California resident for the most part. Just to introduce
That I
folks a
am,
little
yeah.
bit to you. And you've been working in the game industry for a little while now, doing various community-related work.
Yep, this will be about
Yep.
my 4th year.
Yep. I don't know. Do you want to name any names about companies you work for, games you worked on, anything like
Sure,
that?
I can.
Yeah.
I worked for EA Mobile for about 2.5 years. Before that, it was an indie company called Click Nation, and I'm gonna die again. Oh no, I'm good.
I'll join
And
you after I
yeah,
hit the chest.
no problem. And yeah, it was a Click Nation. We did primarily Facebook games, and then we got purchased by EA and started making mobile games. And that's how I got into community management. Started out with in support, I was a CS lead for a while. I sort of built most of our support team.
Cool.
And yeah.
And you are a D&D player, in addition to
Yes.
a bit of a fairly. You haven't been playing DDO forever, but you've been playing
No.
for a while.
It's been a
And
little while
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Thus my multitasking skills are limited as to
But you
trying to
are a
figure out where to
D&D
go.
player. You are a pen and
Yes.
paper person. So
Absolutely.
I
I've been
know
playing
our
since
streamers love to hear about the pen and paper stuff as well. So
sure.
what's your favorite edition?
3.5. I
Okay.
think because of the variety. Sure, yeah, it was a little broken, but there were just so many different source guides for it, and I loved it for that. It, there was endless possibilities of what you could do with your character. You could have a party full of bards, and they'd all be completely different bards.
Yep.
So that kind of led a bit into Pathfinder, but again, because I had so many of the books for 3.5, I didn't branch out too far. And then I skipped 4th edition. I am a loyal Forgotten Realms fan, and I was sad that several of my characters were either killed off or had very patchwork methods of staying alive for the 100-year jump in canon. But that's sadly the majority of the reason I didn't like 4th edition was because of the canon. But the system was fair. I just didn't have too many other friends who played it either. And then recently I purchased 5th edition books. So
Yep.
I look forward to joining in a campaign for 5th ed or starting one of my own.
I think there's a if the timing works out, you may well be joining our Friday night. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, planar gird on the first pull. All right. Dang. Man, I remember on Sarlona trying to hit this chest a freaking 100 times to get that belt. Holy moly. Nice.
It's your proximity with me.
Yeah, I guess so. Gosh, on the stream, I got a real nice item there. Killer.
But yes, I'd be happy to join the
Yep, yep,
Friday night game.
yep. And that's our 5th edition Forgotten Realms game. That's Tolero's on it, and a couple other folks from, well, it's all mostly Turbine folks. Actually, it's pretty
And their
much all
partners.
Turbine. Yeah, and partners. Yep. So, wrong server court event. Well, Peter823, now I've got a planar gird on Galanda, so that's going to stick with me for a while. Who knows? Kobold Killer's got a future. Yep.
Yeah, I moved here just about 2 weeks ago, actually. Still unpacking.
Yep.
So just in time for winter.
Now, have you always been a California resident, or are you familiar with the harsh, cold winters of the United States in various parts?
I've been mostly California, but I did live in the Midwest for a short time. So
Okay, okay.
yes. And we would go visit the snow up in Tahoe, so it's not the same as living in it, I know, but
Yeah.
the idea of driving and living in snow does not scare me like it does most Californians.
It's 60 degrees. It's winter coat weather.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, part of the reason I really enjoy it here is because I was getting tired of the heat. I lived in Northern California, and it was just too hot of a summer for me. It was way too uncomfortable, and I miss having all 4 seasons instead of like the 2.5 we get.
Yeah. Well,
And the drought.
hopefully we won't scare you off with our weather here.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Last winter was pretty rough. Even for this Minnesota boy, I can admit that last winter was a little rough.
Yeah, the whole country was keeping an eye on that. I
Yeah.
remember hearing about that in California.
Yep.
Unbelievable amounts of snow. But at the same time, everyone's kind of keeping track of California's drought right now, so
That's true. That's true.
it's on par, I suppose.
Yep. Hey, CSI Stormreach, come to Canada. We have 1 season and 3 sub-seasons. You raise a good point. I've been there. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Rothko asks, will more of the unused collectibles be added to the crafting system? For example, he has a few strings of prayer beads to use up. I bet you do. There are things you can do with those prayer beads if you want to. We did, I guess it was a while ago now, we did offer an ability to turn in various things, crafting items for augments, and that may be something you'd want to look into. I think you're right that the strings of prayer beads in particular are not used in that system. It may well be that we'd want to come up with something that you can do with those things other than what you currently can, and I can't remember what you get from them. Is it some kind of light healing potion, maybe? I can't remember what you actually get for the old crafting system on that. Define Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Nebraska? Probably yes on that. That's kind of a you're asking a loaded question because it depends who you are and where you live. People tend to define it a little differently, but in general, I would say anything from about Minnesota to Oklahoma. Generally, anything from say Ohio over to Nebraska probably counts.
Just to clarify, I was living in Iowa for a while, kind of near Fort Dodge.
Okay. Why don't we go back to the shrine here? We'll take them out that way. Oop. Except not that one. Prayer beads are the fruitcake of DDO. You might be right. You might be right. Actually,
fruitcake.
Yeah.
I sense a World of Warcraft reference there. I remember.
We're actually just about done, but I'll take you to the shrine anyway, X. That's true. If you live in like New York City, the Midwest is pretty much anything outside of Manhattan. Gemini, if you have never farmed for planar girds and you have 2 of them, congratulations. That's all I gotta say there. Yeah. Yeah, I bet that name was taken. Actually, I'm pretty sure we have figgy pudding in DDO. So I think figgy pudding would be figgy pudding. I don't know about Death's Prank. I'm not sure. Just not familiar with that one. Sorry. Is that another WoW reference? Maybe? Thanks, Ilyando, saying great job on the loot. Presumably talking about the new randomized loot system. We appreciate the kind words on that. If folks do have feedback, we do have a thread that's going right now about it. It would be a great time to get us your feedback while we still have some time to work on it. Technical 13 says, I'd still like to see some new effects added, offered on the new armors, like Angelic Vitality, temporary spell points, etc., etc. That's something that, we could look into. Again, the feedback thread would be the best place to get that information to us. What do you think? We probably have time for a Stormcleave, don't we? So that's over in House Beneath. You can just sort of follow me. I'll lead you there.
I'm actually a little stuck in the dungeon. It's not letting me go through the portal. I don't know if there's something I missed.
Just hit the recall button if you need to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. The Pariah Dark over on YouTube says, let me hit you with a question right away. I played the Temple of Elemental Evil lately. I really like the new music. Is it available somewhere? Unfortunately, we don't have it available publicly yet. It's something I've tried to find. I've looked into it, but I haven't been able to locate the files personally to get them up. But I'll make another effort to see what we can do there. Okay, a second. And then you can just find me on the map. The airship portal to the house. Yep. We need some holiday music this time of the year. We don't have any DDO holiday music that I'm aware of. Yamanura says, can we have a legendary bacon item?
Is that bacon?
Yes, bacon. There's a bacon thing in DDO.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. So there we go. And then go to House Beneath. When is the total party kill potion of wonders coming back? Good question. I don't know. No immediate plans to do it that I'm aware of. But they were pretty fun, weren't they? Edward G says, I would like a heavy gravity clicky. The code is already implemented. That's interesting. What would be the tactical benefit of having the heavy gravity clicky? I can't think of a reason why I'd actually want that. But maybe I'm not sure. We are in the Anvil Fire Inn, and then you'll talk to the guy by the tavern there. Let me show you. For those painfully long descents. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe. CSI Stormreach asked about an old DDO cast coupon code. Probably not. That one was active for several years. For actually DDO cast 250th episode, that's why it was named CST 250. They're now on episode 400 and some, so I think after 150 some weeks, we might be done with that coupon. But we could certainly have some kind of community coupon happening in the future. Stormtom says, I have two questions. I have recently been playing an Arcane Archer Ranger with a focus on maxing spell power to really see the limits of the new tree. However, while it scales with spell power, it doesn't scale with spell critical. Is this intentional? I am going to say probably yes, because spell critical would be a different thing than, say, arrows on the critical hit. My second question, unless I'm misinterpreting you, my second question is wondering if other abilities, like the Eldritch Knight abilities, will get spell power scaling to keep it consistent. I would have to know specifically which abilities you're talking about. In general, abilities which use a direct kind of spell damage, like say if it does fire damage, then that typically scales with the fire spell power. But if it is its own typed damage, then typically it will not. So you'd want to just kind of keep an eye out for the description, and it'll usually kind of say whether it should or should not. If there's a specific Eldritch Knight ability, though, that we need to look into or that may not be working correctly, let me know. I would need to talk to either Varg Wheeler or Steelstar about it and get specifics about a specific ability. But in general, for example, if it's like you do, an ability says you do 1d10 fire damage, then that would scale with spell power. But for example, if it's a key damage or some form of untyped damage, then or special damage, then probably not. I'm not sure about the Eldritch Knight weapon imbues. I would need to look further into that. Sorry, I don't have an answer off the top of my head on that one. I would say that just because something costs spell points does not mean it should scale with spell power. It depends on the type of attack or ability it is. Urlock says, is Rezia coming soon? It's scheduled for January, and we'll have more information about specifically when as we get a little bit closer to it. And then we'll also bring back the Midwinter Festival over in Evening Star. All right, there we go. Bacon Dimension Door. There was actually a pretty funny discussion in the office yesterday. We were thinking about having a unlimited wand of limited wish, and the limited wish would be it casts magic missile. So it'd basically be a wand of magic missile. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. Maybe I'm the only one. But I don't think bacon would fit with Dimension Door.
Maybe there could be a physical door that shows up made out of bacon?
Ooh. Now you're talking like a DDO team player. Yeah, that sounds, doors made of bacon.
And of course the spell component would be bacon as well.
Right. It requires bacon. Yamanira says, bacon goes with everything. Yeah.
If you guys have ever tried chocolate bacon, it's actually pretty amazing.
Yuck. But then I'm a vegetarian, so for me it's veggie bacon. Which I believe counts. There are probably bacon eaters out there who'd be like, nope, that doesn't count. For me, it does. If bacos count, then vegetarian bacon counts, because bacos aren't actually bacon either.
That's blasphemy.
I don't know, Javor, that we have any plans to update the Rezia Ice games, but if you have a specific suggestion, the forums would be a good place to let us know about that. But I would not expect the Rezia Ice games to undergo any significant changes for this year. Frankly, because it's coming out in January, so any work that would be done with it would be in Update 29, and we're a little busy right now with things like Legendary Shroud and Green Steel. And all that. The last event work we did was for the Night Revels, and so I don't think we're going to really have time to get to Rezia in the near future. Plus, it's fairly stable at this point. I don't know that there's a lot of need. But if you have a specific sort of need that you would like to identify, let us know. Technical 13 says, is it too soon to talk about cookie changes? I'd like to keep it a surprise. That's something we typically don't list in the release notes in terms of what does what. But I can tell you that, yes, there will be new effects on the festival cookies this year, like there is every year. Some will stay the same, some will be different. And I checked with No Worries yesterday, and that work is done. Checked in for Update 29. So when Update 29 hits, The festival jester will show up a short time later, and we will have new cookies. I can, I guess, say that I helped put together the list this year. So my basic thinking was, can I find stuff that people want? Usually every year we have mostly good cookies. Then there's a few duds in there. Well, I tried to keep the duds to a minimum. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the new cookies this year. I basically was like, yeah, everyone liked that one. I didn't like this one, so let's change this one. I'm looking out for you, man. Oh. Any word on the weekend bonus? Confucius says, yes. The weekend bonus will be a +2 loot boost. And that kicks off Thursday, probably late morning, certainly by early afternoon Eastern time. So when you don't like the cookies, you can blame me? Yeah. At least this year.
Who doesn't like cookies?
Right. Who doesn't like cookies?
Probably people who don't like bacon.
Morgu, I had considered the idea of an abundant step type clicky, and it was deemed perhaps not the wisest decision to add to our cookie list, just because people could get too many of them. Sorry. Javor asks, does the loot boost from the weekend stack with the loot gems? And the answer is yes, absolutely. It stacks, all of these stack independently. So if you have, say, the Dragon Mark, that'll stack with the loot boost, which will stack with the loot weekend. So you can have a total of, I think the current max you can get to a chest is +5. And just to explain for those who maybe are new, the way the loot boosts work is they will increase the CR of the chest. And the CR of the chest is typically by default, although it can be adjusted manually depending on development need, the level of the quest. So if you're in a level 10 quest on normal, then you'll have level 10 chests. And if you are on, say, a level 10 quest on Elite, that makes it a level 12 quest, and your chest will be level 12. If you then have a +2 loot boost, it will be a level 14 chest. If you have that, plus the enhancement, plus the dragon mark and everything, then you can get up to a level 17 chest. And our loot caps out currently at 35, I think. We tend to try to cap it out basically at the end of what the possibility could be. Yeah, quick reminder, Yamanira's brought up to someone new to the chat room that yes, this Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, is going to be our Update 29 preview. It'll be right here on twitch.tv/DDOstream, again, 4 o'clock Eastern. Normally that's our casual Fridays at 4 stream, but it was a good time to actually do the preview, so we're going to be less casual and more official. Not that we're not official, but this time there'll be devs with me and we'll be talking about Update 29. Oh, Urlock says +7 is possible if you include the guild. Yep, and the chest hugger. That's right, that's right. Titan asks, let's see, so Tier 3 bonus shards will be available in the next preview. Yes, I believe so. We actually have Arguil working on that today. So, yes, assuming that work gets done today. like the active cookies and all that sort of thing. Should be in. Stay tuned. Oh, that's right, we had the treasure map too from Crystal Cove. That's another way to do it. Except I don't believe the thing from Crystal Cove stacks with the dragon mark. Perhaps someone can correct me, but I think that is the same type. Gemini says update 30 should be level 30. We had that conversation. We were like, can we just sort of fake an update 29 so that level 30 is update 30? Not fake, but there was a plan actually at one point to have um, the Night Revels Festival be its own update rather than a patch to update 28, and then call that update 29 so that update 30 could be 30. But then the Night Revels really was all that there really was, other than a few minor things, and so it just didn't really fit what we usually do a named update with. And so the only reason we'd really be calling it Update 29 is so that we could make Update 30 be level 30, which seemed a little arbitrary. So that's really sort of the reasoning on that. I believe it was on the one of the recent DDL cast Ask the Devs, where it was said far too much conversation was had about this issue, and that's true. We it almost came to blows.
Oh, no, that sounds like a good enough reason for me. I mean, TV shows have filler episodes all the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's right. It was you have those episodes which is just like so and so's in the hospital reminiscing about the good times you had over the last 2 seasons. You know.
We'll just call it character development.
Yeah. What's everyone doing? Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. Hey, Leondo, thanks for joining us. I really do appreciate you joining us on the live stream here. Very cool. Cranky the Eighth Dwarf says, when are my +3 returning Dwarven Ale mugs of drunkenness going to make an appearance? It's something we've brought up with the team, that we really need to have a mug of ale that you can chuck at somebody. So far that work has not been done to create it. I apologize. But, we'll see. You are not wrong, though. That would be a really great item. It's just a matter of prioritizing it and getting it through the process. So far I have been death-free in Stormcleave. I did die once in Xorian Cipher, so death count 1.
And a 1 for me as well, which is not too bad.
Yep. Office is kind of loud today. Yeah, well, that's because we're busy. We're getting ready for update 29 on Lamania. This is one of our final sort of days to make it all happen. So we're keeping busy. May also be because we have another mic going. That's okay.
I'm muted most of the time.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, just to minimize the echo.
Yep. Yep, famous last words. All right, guys, I think everything's going to be all right.
I prefer hold my beer.
Hey, guys, watch this. Let's split the party. There's another good one.
Classic.
Cranky says, what headsets do we use? We use standard issue Microsoft Live Chat headsets for the most part at Turbine. Because they're fairly inexpensive, they work pretty well, and you know, there are hundreds of us that need them. So that's what's up with that.
It's kind of neat because you can actually remove the mic.
Yeah, right. Do I have any fun plans for the holidays? Cyntius asks. Not particularly. I'm going to be having my son with me over the holidays, and so we'll be having fun together. We'll probably go see Santa and go see some lights, like kind of a festival of lights thing, and have a good time. But no major plans for the holidays.
Yeah, I still need to figure out my New Year's plans, actually. I'm not sure what's available over here.
Well, I happen to know that the Damsels of DDO are going to be organizing a Hound of Zoriat run. That'll be on January 29th. So I'll be taking part in that, I think. Assuming my son gets to bed in time. But yeah, New Year's, I don't know. I'm not really much of a New Year's guy. I tend to stay at home on New Year's. I mean, back in the day, I used to work every New Year's. And now I just sort of not go anywhere.
That'll probably be me next year, so this year I want to do something.
Yep. All right, I will grab the Earth Ellies. Cool, we're good. That's a possibility. I think I think I'll be having my son with me on New Year's Eve, so I may not have time to do much in the way of live streaming. But if nothing's going on, that sounds like a possibility that we could do some kind of New Year's Eve live stream. It could happen. Yeah, Centius, if you are interested in streaming DDO, that'd be great. Let me know. We'll get the word out about your stream for for you. Help drive some folks to your stream. Oops. Oh, oof. Close one. Ooh, remnant. Mr. Shampy says, I am wondering why the Tiefling is not yet a playable race in DDO. It is a really interesting race and it has a good combo as Warlock. Is it from experience that, at least from his experience as a tabletop player? We've answered this a couple of times in the past, but maybe you didn't catch it and that's fine. The main reason we haven't done Tieflings yet is we would need to redo, there'd be a lot of animation work involved. And we just haven't been able to carve out that work yet. So, it's not to say never, but next up is going to be Gnome, and that is tentatively set for update 30. And then perhaps it's something we could look at in the future. But in terms of the why, we've been working on other classes, other races, and we just haven't gotten to it yet.
So it turns out I follow the half of the party that's waiting for something. Not being familiar with this dungeon,
Oh, yeah. Yep, I know where you're going.
Alright.
Yeah. We'll be heading over there. I think we're clearing things out till we get the conquest bonus, but we'll see. Sure, I appreciate that, Peter823. Now, I mean, Tieflings, like I say, they have tails, they have different head animations. So it would basically be a lot of work to make it fit with all existing armors, weapons. Like I said, it'd be a whole new animation set. So in terms of development cost, in terms of, say, development hours to make it and things like that, pretty significant. But that's not to say it might not happen someday. Let me see. It seems like we have a question that I should answer, but I'm not sure where it is. I must have missed it. Looks like Civic Spoon maybe is asking a little bit about Epic Reincarnation taking place at level 30 rather than level 28, which is something that's going to be happening with the update. So if you look back on Reincarnation, back in the release notes, or the Cruz, talk to Cruz, the Reincarnation trainer in that, it was never stated that Epic Reincarnation was a level 28 thing. It was always just defined as level cap. Now it just so happens to be that the level cap has been 28 for quite some time. But technically, it's always been the case that that it was going to be update 30, even way back in the day. I realize that people have kind of gotten into the habit of it being level 28, and some folks would like us to retain it at level 28. But I don't think that's in our immediate. That's not in our plans. We want it to be level 30. I do recognize that it rewards people who have been going through this up until this point, but that's okay. But we are interested in hearing your feedback on it. If you would like to disagree with us or, provide feedback on the issue, that's perfectly fine. We've certainly been getting some feedback on the forums about that. in particular, although not just the forums, and that's perfectly fine as well. But we do not have plans to keep Epic Reincarnation at level 28. PJ Banyai says, could the tiefling horns and tails be implemented as special cosmetic armor usable only by that race? I mean, theoretically, maybe, but probably we would want to go with more of having that in the base animation. I think that would probably be the way to go on that. All right, one last question, then I'm going to wrap things up. Dirty Dexter says, I'm having some issues with the refund on an attempted purchase. Can I tell me where to find the contact information for who handles that? The information is go to support.turbine.com. Support.turbine.com. You'll see a contact us link there. If you want to contact account support by telephone, you can find the phone number there. If you want to send in a ticket to account support, you can do that through that same link as well. And you would want to, any issues related to refunds of attempted purchases or purchase-related issues would go to account support. All right, that's going to do it with the Weekly Wednesday Lunchtime live stream. Thanks very much for joining me, Angela. It's been
Happy to be here.
good to have you joining me this week. And also the party here as well, just like usual. I will be getting you guys a Turbine Point code a little bit later on in the day, so you can check your inbox probably late this afternoon for that. We will be doing a giveaway as well in our chat room, so thanks very much for joining me. If you would like to subscribe on YouTube, you can get these videos in your subscription feed. If you follow us on Twitch, you'll be notified from when we go live with shows just like this one. 4 o'clock today, we have DDO as she is played. 1 o'clock tomorrow, we have got a brand new show. Friday night, we have got Pikers Anonymous, and we'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern on Friday for our Update 29 preview here on twitch.tv/DDO stream. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.